basketball has been played inside Charger Fieldhouse, but we are back here in a blizzard. Snow's falling down here at Carroll High School. As we welcome you inside here on the Charger Fieldhouse, as we got a good team coming in the Columbia City Eagles, 13-3 as they take on Carroll as they try to stay above 500 on the season. As we welcome you inside, Carson Beeman joined here by Owen McFadden. As Owen, big test coming up here for the Chargers, a 13-3 Columbia City team.
Yeah, and as I said in my pregame show, that this is going to be, as you said, another tough test for the Carroll Chargers, as this is a Columbia City team that's really heating up at a cold time, had a great December. As I said, 8-1, only losing to Warsaw, which, you know, Carroll Chargers had really a bad game against Warsaw. So this is a team they should really have to respect out here and going to have to play to their best ability if they want a chance at beating.
Yeah, this is a Carroll team that, when they've needed to, have beaten the teams they have been supposed to, but have just struggled against top competition. Columbia City being a great example of that. Number 2 in 3A and number 14th overall in the state of Indiana, and once again led by Addison Baxter, one of the best players in the area and one of the best players in the state. 24 points per game, 5 rebounds a game, 4 steals a game, and shooting over 50% in the field goal, as she leads her team in all 4 of those categories. So a big test coming up here for the Chargers.
Yeah, and she's really the do-it-all player for the Columbia City Eagles, and as I said, the Chargers really going to have to respect her game tonight and shut her down, really, if they want a chance at beating this tough team.
As we have a good one coming up in just about a minute and 10 to go. We'll go to the school songs, then take it down to the PA announcer, Mr. Windmiller.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you all please rise and direct your attention to the United States flag located on the southern upper end of the field house for the playing of our national anthem. We will begin by introducing the starters from Columbia City High School. A 5'6" senior, number 10, Lainey Ziliak. A 5'9" junior, number 14, Anissa Tonkel. A 5'6" senior, number 30, Olivia Kidd. A 5'8" junior, number 32, Tora Holler. And a 5'9" senior, number 33, Addison Baxter. Eagles are coached by Amy Shear. And now for your Carroll Chargers, a 5'9" freshman, number 3, Kala Hefner. A 5'5" senior, number 4, Jersey Paul. A 5'6" senior, number 23, Lauren Kirkpatrick. A 5'10" junior, number 32, Ava Myers. And a 6'2" junior, number 44, Lily George. Chargers are coached by Mark Redding.
Thank you, Mr. Windmiller. And with that, we are ready to play ball here inside Charger Fieldhouse for the first time in 2025, 7:30 local time, as we'll get you your starters. First off for the 13-3 Columbia City Eagles, Lainey Ziliak, Anisha Tonkel, Olivia Kidd, Tora Holler, and Addison Baxter. Your starters for the Carroll Chargers, Kala Hafner, Jersey Paul, Lauren Kirkpatrick, Ava Myers, and Lily George, as we are ready to roll here as George going towards the tip with Holler. As we are ready to go, toss won by the Chargers. Kala Hafner, the freshman point guard, with it. As Myers is going to put it up, cannot get the shot to go. George, no good. Baxter, as they'll swing it over, and the three is too long by Kidd. It's rebounded by Kirkpatrick, as the Chargers are really going to have to control the boards here to stay in.
Yeah, and especially on the offensive end, it's like just maybe stepped out there, but as you said, on the rebound, really going to have to control primarily their offensive rebound. If we look at this team last time out against Norwell, one of their main issues was that offensive rebound battle. Lost it, really contributing to their loss. So if they want to try and compete with this probably even tougher Columbia City team, again, going to have to control their offensive rebounds.
They try to swing it inside. Kidd gets blocked. Good defense by Myers and George. As Hafner with Myers, another thing Carroll's going to have to do is find offensive production. Paul and Hafner need some help here, have been the two leading scorers on this team, whether that's Lily George, Ava Myers, Lauren Kirkpatrick. They need someone to step up, as that's a turnover. Second one already by Carroll. Driving through on the inside, Addison Baxter is going to head to the line.
Yeah, and again, as we talked about the offensive rebounds, turnovers also an issue here, and it leads just to a pretty easy foul and an opportunity for the Eagles to get on the board here.
This is a Carroll team that has only won the turnover battle 3 times this year throughout their 14 games played, all of those 3 games being wins, averaging 21 turnovers a game. As Baxter able to put down the first one, the Butler come in, and a miss basketball candidate. 81% shooter on the year. She goes 2 for 2. So now Hafner. Myers to Paul. Paul's gonna drive in, gets it poked away. She keeps it. Hafner, the leader in 3-point percentage on this team, can't get it to go. As that's gonna be a transition reach in on Carroll. As Kidd to inbound it. 2-0 here, as it's been a very much a defensive start. As Baxter to Kidd. As Baxter's going to work on the inside, mid-range, boots it out. Ziliak takes the corner 3, able to drill it down.
Yeah, and that's just a smart basketball play there by Baxter. Saw the Chargers collapsing on her in the paint, decided to kick it out for the easy 3.
She's going to get a lot of that defensive attention. Hafner trying to go inside to Lily George, and she's able to get it up for the first score for the Chargers tonight. And George is going to need to get going here in the second half of the season. The leading scorer the previous 2 years for Carroll has been battling injuries throughout this season, only averaging 8 points a game. Baxter working inside on Hafner, kicks it back out, and it's another good play by Addison Baxter, finding an open Tora Holler.
Yeah, and Baxter just really exploiting this Chargers defense. Chargers defense knows it has to really step up their game against her, and really turnover there.
Lanning in the game for the first time. That's going to be hit away. Another turnover by Carroll. That's already their third. Driving inside, Baxter Euros her way through for the tough lay.
Yeah, what a sweet move there by Baxter, taking it all the way down the court for the layup.
It's a 7-point lead quick here for the Eagles. Hafner driving in. She gets the and one.
And Hafner here just trying to answer back. Been such a key contributor to this team as a freshman as we look at the previous play there by Baxter.
Hafner converts the and one opportunity. As now Holler. Work Tonkel, swings it to Kidd at the top of the key. It's Kidd. It's 9-5 lead here by Columbia City. 13-3 on the season. As we said, there's a three put up by Ziliak. No good, but it's an offensive rebound as Tonkel not able to get the layup to go through, but back-to-back offensive boards now for Columbia City as Lanning is going to get called for the foul, trying to get the jump ball.
Yeah, and just not a play you want to see there if you're the Chargers. You give up back-to-back offensive rebounds, and then on top of that, commit a foul there. As it's got to be more disciplined here against this Columbia City offense.
As Carroll has just allowed too many second chance points so far in this one. Good move by Holler, leaves it short at the rim, but it's another offensive board. Tonkel under the basket, poked away. Her and George fighting for it on the ground. Hafner comes up with it. Now Jersey Paul, opposite side floor in transition. As all the players return. Paul working in isolation, will put up the three, and Jersey Paul leaves it to the right. As fight for the ball, Lanning with it, it'll go out of bounds. As that's a good defensive possession by the Eagles and the recovery in transition. Baxter now brings it up. She's going to do a nice pass down to Tonkel. It's driving through, now kicks it back out the perimeter. A lot of ball movement here. It's stolen by Lanning. As Paul, once again, in transition, will slow things back down. Swings it over on the outside of the court. As Hafner, that one rolls out for the three-point attempt. But rebounded by George, and Paul can't get the floater. It goes back to Columbia City. Been a track meet of a game so far, and that's going to be a reach in on Kirkpatrick. As Kylie Gibbs checks into the game for the first time for Carroll. Score remains 9-5. Have been in about a 2.5-minute scoring drought between the two teams. Baxter is going to look to end that, not able to make the contested layup, but another offensive board. Baxter gets it back, not able to get it to go in. So good defense for the Chargers, but a lot of offensive rebounds being allowed, but they're able to get away with no points here. As score remains 9-5 here, 2:40 to go in the first quarter. Paul, now to Hafner. As there's a deep three by Jersey Paul, leaves it too long. As Baxter's gonna take it, gets fouled, she'll head to the line.
Yeah, Baxter's really put this Columbia City offense on her back. As I said, the do-it-all player for them, and hasn't really been scared to just distribute the ball, not really forcing a whole ton of shots, and when she does, often fouled.
Baxter averaging 7 shots from the line a game. Lives down there on the inside. As second one bounces out, but once again another second chance opportunity coming up. As they're able to convert, it's an and one, a good play by Lainey Ziliak. And once again, Carroll just struggling rebounding the basketball, and this time it finally hurts. As the and one is missed. Hafner now to Paul. Paul going to the right side. Gonna go to Gothrop in the game for the first time today. Now Gibbs takes a 3 at the elbow, too long. And Carroll 0 for 4 from the 3-point line to start. They get the offensive rebound. Gibbs now at the top, now to Lanning, trying to go to Paul. And Hafner will try to reset. Paul will try to go inside, it's picked away. Baxter looks to drive in, swings it over, it's tapped away by Gibbs. As Callie Mitchell checks in for Carroll, and number 32, Tora Holler, comes back in for the Lady Eagles. As Paul will take a seat momentarily. As good play there by Baxter. Hafner had her back turned towards Baxter. She's able to put it in, and a heads-up play there by the Butler commit.
Yeah, just another really smart play from Baxter, as she's seen. Just a really high IQ basketball player.
Gibbs cutting inside now to Gothrop, gets tapped away. And Columbia City rolling in this one. That one's batted out of bounds. Will stay with Columbia City, but Addie Baxter with a great play. She has 7 points so far here in the first quarter. Able to put it through. As Baxter. This is also the first time we are streaming on YouTube. That will be a foul on Tonka, which will head to the line. But big night here for the CSN, as from now on we will be dual broadcasting on the IHSAA network and YouTube. So whichever one is more convenient to you, feel free. As Anita Tonka able to make the first one. Columbia City with 7 free throw attempts coming up here in this first quarter. As Tonka goes 0 for 2. They've missed their last 3.
Yeah, and a lot of the same issues here that we've seen the Chargers have in this regular season, especially with offensive rebounds and turnovers, just really plaguing them here early once again.
Gothrop trying to look for an open player. Paul looks to cut inside. It's taken away. Baxter in transition. Running with it. Good vision on the left side of the 3. It's drilled down by Holler. And you've seen the vision all night by Addie Baxter with the playmaking. It's 18-5. Here is 7 seconds in the first quarter. It's stolen once more. 4, 3, 2. Baxter able to put it up, and it's a great day and a great first quarter for Addie Baxter. She has 9. Columbia City leads at 20-5 here on the Charger Sports Network.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Make the future yours at St. Francis. You belong here.
As we begin second quarter of play, as these teams were supposed to play earlier in the year. That game got postponed due to volleyball making state. But look at the matchup. Columbia City victors last time around with a 31-point margin as they hope to continue the win streak here against Carroll. Paul with the defensive board. But Carroll looking for points here. It's another turnover. Only 5 first quarter points. But this is a Carroll team that has done a good job beating the teams they're supposed to beat, but against tough competition, they've struggled. They're 3-5 versus teams that currently have 10 or more wins on the season, and average margin in those games is Carroll losing by 13 points. So Carroll has really struggled to just really compete against those top-tier teams.
Yeah, and as they say, basketball games are often won at the end of quarters, and had a really bad end of quarter there. Went from 5 to 9 to 5 to 20 in an instant. So gonna have to get back in the game here offensively.
As Myers trying to look for George inside, she's able to get in. Lily George with 4 points as she needs to get active here for Carroll to come back. Baxter, good pass over. As Baxter will put up the shot and the middy's good.
Yeah, Baxter's just getting whatever she wants. And then when she is well defended, just passes the ball, finds the open player, just so hard to stop.
Paul looking inside to George. She's going to put up the shot, no good. Baxter averaging 24 points a game coming into this one. She's up to 11 already. Good Butler commit. As we look at the 2 players to watch here, Addie Baxter and Jersey Paul. Jersey Paul is going to need to get engaged here. Still scoreless in this one. Addie Baxter coming in today, leading the team in a lot of categories as she leads the team in points, steals, field goal percentage, and rebounds per game, and I think is second in assists, if not first as well. Driving in, Carroll wants to travel, not going to get it. Baxter on the right side. She'll do a good move behind the back, trying to pass it. Gothrop is there to deflect. As now Paul to Hafner, as not able to get the tough layup to fall through. Baxter passing it over, mid-range shot left long. As Kirkpatrick comes away with the rebound. Now Myers. As just miscommunication there. Another turnover as Tonko heads to the line. And just a disaster of a first half here for Carroll.
And it just seems like the Chargers have issues trying to transition from defense to offense very often, as often try to just force bad passes or lose the ball. And unfortunately, if they want to beat this team, really keep up with the pace of the Eagles, cannot turn the ball over as much.
Columbia City had 7 shots at the charity stripe in that first quarter. Yes, they've really dominated on all points of the floor. Tonko able to get the latter half of the 2. So now here's Hafner. Myers trying to go inside to Gothrop. Gothrop losing her strength. Kirkpatrick, now Myers will take the 3 at the elbow, leaves it short. As it's going to be a loose ball foul on Gothrop.
That was good ball movement there. Unfortunately, the Chargers didn't go down, and double whammy with the foul.
As Gothrop will come out already with 2 fouls in this one. Olivia Hoke checks in for the first time today. But Carroll, a team that gets a lot of their offensive production beyond the arc, 0 for 5 to start. Ziliak with 5 already. As able to make the pass to Holler. She gets it stolen away. Myers on the fast break. Good recovery by Kidd. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Hafner with it. Hafner and Paul need to get more involved here. 3 points combined with both of them. As Kirkpatrick can't get the layup. Hoke gets the putback and is fouled, so she'll head to the line.
Yeah, and the Chargers are really just going to need one of their bigs to step up as we talked about, George, such a talented player, but unfortunately the season dealing with injuries, and tonight being basically harassed in the post and already Hoke in the game in the second quarter. Just going to need that, big to step up, especially with the guards struggling, who have often been the consistent offensive outlet in this team.
I think overall, if you're Carroll, you just got to find a consistent form of offense against these top defenses in the area. They've really struggled, if you look back at those games against Warsaw, against Belmont, and Homestead. Have just really struggled to find anything consistent. But Hoke goes 2 for 2 from the line. Makes it a 14-point Columbia City lead. As Paul pokes that one away, trying to save it, steps out of bounds. Baxter. Baxter, once again, swings it over. Ziliak wide open in the corner, and it's nothing but nylon.
And that's just a great vision there. I mean, that's a cross-court pass from Baxter. That's Hoke down low.
Hoke gets it blocked. Once again, who else but Addie Baxter? Transition now. As Holler wanted the foul, is not going to get one, but it will stay on this side of the floor. As Tonkel and Hurdle both check in. Tonkel swings it out to Ziliak, and she's going to get called on the walk.
Yeah, and this is a prime opportunity for the small amount of time I expect Baxter to be on the bench. Really need to get something going offensively, as down big here late in the second quarter.
Paul steps back, long two, able to knock it down for Paul's first points of the game.
The Chargers really going to need her to heat up here. As you said, first points of the game. As we've known, this offense very guard heavy, very guard oriented, so going to need her and Hafner to really shoulder the load.
As there's the three once again by Ziliak. That one's left long, as rebounded by Myers. I think something that Carroll also needs to find is making their own shots. There's Hoke. There's a good pass by Kirkpatrick as Carroll trying to heat up here offensively. This is a Carroll team that gets a lot of their points from just on-the-spot shooting. But a good sign there by Paul, able to create off the dribble for the long two. As it's a 13-point lead here for the Lady Eagles here with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Tonkel. As Addie Baxter is out of the game currently. So maybe a good time for Carroll to capitalize. Good defense by Hope. Playing good down there in the post. As Addie Baxter checks in for Columbia City and Megan Lanning comes in for the Chargers. As, whoa. Three by Hurdle, no good. Columbia City 3 for 7 from the three here so far. Hafner not able to get the tough shot go. She gets her own miss in the putback.
Yeah, and a good second effort there by Hafner. Initially missed that contested layup, but grabs her own offensive rebound miss as Hoke comes up with it.
Hafner now in transition, trying to go down to Lanning, not able to get the layup. Offensive rebound by Hafner, and Kyla Hafner starting to heat up. She has 7. Columbia City uses their first timeout as Carroll brings it within single digits.
We create spaces that inspire.
If you dread shopping for a car and want a fully transparent, quick, and easy experience, let Rick show you why thousands of happy people have said Rick makes car buying fun. Visit Rick at Don Ayers Honda or online, rick@donayers.com. Let's
Go Chargers!
As we come back out of the timeout, Carroll trying to make the comeback here. Once down 17, brings it to 9 thanks to Kyla Hafner playing good on the boards and then able to put up these tough shots.
Yeah, and I like what I saw there in the last 2 possessions where Hafner, a guard, just crashing the boards or grabbing her own miss and putting it back up. Gonna need just a more heavy Charger presence in the paint if they want to, really turn up their offensive notch.
Columbia City now trying to respond. Tonko at the elbow, and that's going to happen when you leave a good team like this. Columbia City team wide open from the 3. They're going to make them.
Yeah, the Chargers just need to be a little bit quicker on the closeout. As you said, this is a good Columbia City team. Shoots the ball well. Can't really leave them open like that.
Hafner turns it over. In transition, Tonko able to put it through. She's up to 7. And a good response coming off of the timeout here by the Lady Eagles. A surge here at the end of the second quarter. Hafner trying to find space. It's going to be a kick ball. But Columbia City doing a good job shooting the basketball. 50% from the 3-point line, 4 for 8. Carroll team that has defended the 3-point line pretty well this season, but this Columbia City team a different beast. Kirkpatrick now to Hafner. Hafner kicks out, landing open in the corner. Too long.
And it's just shots like those that the Chargers are going to have to hit if they want to beat this Columbia City team.
That's batted away by Hafner. Carroll 0 for 6 here tonight from the 3-point line, a team that shoots around 34%. As 3-point shot, nothing but net. The Eagles, fuego from the 3. That time, Tora Holler. Gonna be a blocking foul on Holler.
Yeah, just a great response from the Eagles in the really short time since that timeout. Lead all the way down to 9 at one point, all the way back up to 17 in an instant.
.39 seconds to go here in this first half. Hoke now to Hafner. Paul trying to create for herself. Will put up the floater, gets fouled.
Yeah, it's just really been a disappointing overall half for the Chargers, as looked like they would go on a little run to close out this second quarter, but unfortunately for them has not been what has happened.
Was once a 9-point game. Columbia City took the timeout, and now it's 16 points. As Baxter has 11, Holler has 8, Ziliak has 8, and Tonkel has 7. As Paul able to go 2 for 2 from the line. So here's Baxter. 30 seconds to go in the half. Tonkel's going to slow it down, try to get the last shot here of this one. Carroll's not going to contest. Step back 3 by Baxter. Does not attempt many threes in a game, as that one is left on the back iron. As Carroll will get the last shot here at 3.3 seconds. Mitchell will put up the shot. She leaves it off long as we'll head to halftime. It's Columbia City with a 15-point lead.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Matt's one-car, two-bedroom apartment with a home office/home gym insurance. We're good at Nick's SUV and farmhouse with a remodeled kitchen/art gallery insurance.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
As we are just about set to begin second half action here on the Charger Sports Network, as Carroll trails Columbia City 34-19. As Owen, it's been Columbia City doing it all so far here in that first half.
Yeah, they had a really good first half, and the Chargers went on a couple, spells, but although pretty short, as Columbia City just really took control of this game in the first half. And going to be a difficult second half, I would presume, for the Chargers as well, especially playing from behind against this team, which is a really fast-moving, fast-paced Columbia City team.
4 Columbia City players with 7 points or more, led by Addie Baxter with 11 points. As you look at the head-to-head stats, don't have much on Columbia City, but we know that they know how to win. As you said, Owen, 8-1 in the month of December, only loss being the Warsaw, who is 15-0 in the season, so definitely not a bad loss at all. The 13-3 Eagles. And Carroll 2-5 in the last 7, have just struggled here in the winter months, but Jersey Paul able to get the nice floater to start off. That's Tonkel. Passes back out. Ziliak up 3 for the 3. With number 32, Tora Halu, now in double figures with 11.
Yeah, and again, just slow to close out there, just leaving somebody open. And you have to pick your battles if you're this Chargers defense, but when everybody's firing on cylinders, Paul with a tough shot there. When the whole team is firing on all cylinders, it's just really hard to do anything.
Jersey Paul with back-to-back floaters to start off for the Chargers. Trailing by 14 in this one. Heller as Kid trips, as it's going to go out of bounds into the Chargers, so turnover on Columbia City. Cal Hafner, I don't know what happened there. Cal Hafner with 7, led the team at half. Jersey Paul now leading the team with 8. Hafner thinks about taking the 3, drives inside, will put up the shot, not able to get it to go off the glass. And now here's Baxter trying to drive out to the corner. As Ziliak. Shots put up, and it's a good one by Baxter. Now up to 13 on the night.
Yeah, it's just way too easy for Baxter there, especially around Lily George. Shots missed there, rebounded by Baxter.
As Tonkel in transition with a great move under the basket. It's 41-23.
Yeah, another just great pass down low from Baxter. But as I said, Carroll defense got to do a lot better job with Baxter, especially in the paint.
Gonna be a reaching foul on Ziliak. That's your second. But a stat that really jumps out on the paper here for the Carroll offense, 0 for 8 from the 3-point line so far, as you look at the nice shot there by Tonkel. But Carroll just struggling to find any offense on the outside, have relied a lot in the paint. Paul trying to look for George on the inside. She gives it down. George in single coverage, able to get it on the one-on-one. As Holler gets fouled, as there's going to be a flopping call on Columbia City. I believe it's just a warning. But Columbia City faithful not extremely happy about it, but they traveled extremely well. Columbia City about 30 minutes out here from Carroll. But they might even have more fans than Carroll does here tonight.
Oh,
as their team leads by 16. It's very close between the two bases, as Hafner gets the steal. Now to Paul, transitions to Myers. It's picked away by Olivia Kidd. Good recovery in transition by Columbia City. Tonkel driving through, able to put up the floater. Tonko now up to 11. 3 Eagles in double figures as Myers steps out of bounds. It's a turnover on Carroll. As Columbia City up to their biggest lead tonight of 18. Carroll still with all 5 timeouts to use. Only 1 timeout was used in that first half, and it was by Columbia City. As that's tapped away, Baxter able to get it back. As there's a 3 taken by Tonko, left short. Another offensive rebound, and they're able to convert that time around by Holler.
Yeah, and the Eagles really stepping it up here around the halfway point of this third quarter. As you said, balloon this lead all the way out to 21.
As Lady Eagles not looking too rusty for their first game being played in 18 days. In 11 days, actually. This is Carroll's second game played in a row, but yesterday was their first game played in 18 days. So really, both teams are trying to find their groove, and so is Lily George now up to 8 points.
Yeah, Lily George stepping it up here in the third quarter. Unfortunately for the Chargers, have had no production from their forwards in regards to scoring.
Their 2 starting forwards, Kirkpatrick and Myers, both scoreless. As Hurdle gonna drive in, gets fouled. First team foul of the quarter for Carroll. Megan Lanning looks to check in. Baxter inbound. Puts it up to Holler. Hurdle looking to drive in, slips as it's going to be a travel. Columbia City leading by 19 here, 3:38 remaining in the third quarter here on the Charger Sports Network. We once again welcome you in. Carson Beeman joined here by Owen McFadden as, once again, we mentioned it earlier, our first stream on YouTube, as well as hopefully from now on we'll be dual streaming on the IHSAA Champions Network and YouTube for regular season games, and then in the postseason it'll be exclusively IHSAA Champions Network. Kirkpatrick. Now to Lanning, going inside to George, it's batted away. In transition, Hurdle the pass way too long for her to grab.
Again, just more turnover issues there for the Chargers, as oftentimes have the right idea of what passes to make, but a lot of poor execution going on here, and especially apparent here tonight with the 19-point lead that the Eagles have jumped out to.
Hafner trying to find a lane to drive through. She stopped, looks for the pass to Paul with the 3 at the top of the key. It's missed. Rebounded by George, and it'll be a loose ball foul on Columbia City.
Yeah, I like the kind of no hesitation approach from the senior jersey, Paul, just knowing her team's kind of in a rout offensively, just kind of putting the ball up, as she's been really the key offensive piece to this team alongside the freshman Kyle Hafner with the ball here.
Hafner takes the open 3, and it's the first made 3 tonight by Carroll, belonging to Kyle Hafner, the first Charger now in double figures with 10.
Yeah, right on cue, as the 2 guards for Carroll just not playing, extremely well. I've kind of picked it up here in the second half, but as I said, there's no consistency against the board.
As Hafner able to get the jump ball called, but it'll stay on this end of the floor. As there's a 3 taken, and Addie Baxter, who only really attempts 2 3-pointers a game, has attempted 2 tonight, and she makes her first one. Columbia City now 7 for 13 from the 3-point line, as that's going to be a backcourt violation. As Carroll trying to snap this skid of theirs, have just struggled really offensively. It has been a gauntlet of a schedule, though, Owen. A lot of tough teams. They played Homestead, Belmont, Warsaw, Columbia City. Just really some tough competition here as it looks to somewhat lighten up here in the last month and a half of the season. Baxter's going to take it again. As she's feeling it now, up to 19 points.
Yeah, and as you said, I've had a gauntlet of a schedule, and really no difference here tonight as Eagles really being led here by their player Baxter, just having a great night against the Chargers defense.
Yeah, and we knew with this team for Carroll there'd be some growing pains throughout the season. Just a lot of inexperienced players fitting into new roles as they look to improve. As Gothrop and Paul, Gothrop, Paul, and Kirkpatrick, the seniors on this team alongside Callie Mitchell. So a decent amount of production returning next year, but this is a team that's still trying to make a sectional push and a sectional fight that's pretty open. As Northrop and Snyder, both tough teams, but they're winnable games. Carroll will play Snyder in about 4 weeks. As Paul's pass gets tipped, it stays with the Chargers. Hafner drives in, cannot put it off the glass, gets her own miss. Gibbs now to Paul, open at the elbow, drains it.
Yeah, it's more like Jersey Paul that we've been accustomed to.
As we'll take a timeout by Coach Redding. We'll take one with them. Carroll trailing by 19. As Carroll trails by 19, but Jersey Paul hitting a big three. She leads Carroll with 11 points here tonight. But it's really been more of the same with this Carroll offense. 21 of the 33 points belonging to Calla Hafner and Jersey Paul, just struggling to find any production elsewhere.
Yeah, and every other Charger on the court right now, and big zero on that scoreboard in regards to their scoring amounts. So as we said earlier, that Chargers were really going to have the load of the offensive work spread out, across multiple players, not with their two guards. You can't beat this Columbia City team playing like that, and unfortunately have not really done that.
Only 4 players have scored for this Carroll team. Hafner with 10, Paul with 11, Lily George with a good game with 8, as there's a good pass down low, and Olivia Hoke off the bench with 4. 54-33, a good shot put up as it's back to a 21-point game, 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. Mitchell trying to keep it alive as she's going to get called on the travel. As you look at Coach Redding, they're trying to get this team to get rolling here. But once again, the schedule is going to open up a bit for this Carroll team in the next upcoming weeks. As this Friday on the Charger Sports Network, they'll go against Bishop Dwenger in a second girls-boys doubleheader of the season. As we'll see this Carroll team for the first time since the middle of December at home, as there's the buzzer beater by Lainey Zeliak, as it's just one of those nights for Columbia City. They lead 57-33. We'll head to the fourth quarter.
Here's the truth about the trades. We're high achievers, lifesavers, the backbone of our economy. We're the ones keeping the lights on, the water flowing, the temperature just right. Businesses running, buildings rising, our community growing. So if you're ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to take control of your future, visit your guidance counselor and say, I want a career that's made by me.
As we welcome you back inside here, Charger Fieldhouse, as Columbia City leads Carroll 57-33. As that's not a student, that's our new teacher, Mr. Matheny, as we give him a welcome here on the Charger Sports Network, as he'll help out a lot here on the production side of things. As always good to have a new face, especially someone that knows what he was doing. Graduated from Ball State, Huntington North graduate, won a good amount of awards for radio, so definitely a qualified person. As we welcome Mr. Matheny onto the crew, helping us out short-handed here tonight, running the baseline camera. As Hafner stops, takes a step back, three's too short. Carroll now 2 for 12 from the three and in transition. Columbia City just being the faster team. Tonkel now up to 15.
Yeah, and it's just been that same pretty much sequence multiple times where Baxter gets the ball, finds Tonkel down low for the easy bucket.
And for Columbia City, players in double figures, but now entering double figures. Lily George able to get the and one now with 10 points. As down the stretch, Lily George is going to be a very important piece here for this Carroll team. Had a knee injury, started late in the season, and has just been trying to get back into a groove, the leading scorer for the last 2 years on this Carroll team. As we know what she's capable of, has not looked 100%, but especially facing more SAC, more lighter competition, going to be very important here. As Baxter misses the mid-range shot. 59-35 as Columbia City keeps on their side, but Columbia City has just executed better really on all sides of the floor here tonight. Baxter spinning inside on George, a tough shot. Baxter with 21 here tonight. The Butler commit improving upon her great season. The two-way player has done it on both ends of the floor tonight. Hafner with the floater, and it's going to be a 3-second violation on Lily George. 61-35, 6:48 remains in this one. As that's going to be a hand check on Kirkpatrick. That's her second. As Columbia City looking to improve to 14-3 on the season. They have a big game, probably game of the week for women's basketball coming on Friday, as they'll take on the Belmont Braves and probably the two best area teams in 3A in what should be a phenomenal one. We saw Belmont a couple weeks ago against this Carroll team, and insanely good defensively, and just plays that traditional style of basketball. Really picked Carroll apart. As Kidd now to Baxter, has taken a couple threes already. She looks to drive in, kicks out. Holler for the three, no good. And it's an offensive rebound, put back no good by Kidd as Myers rips it away. Trying to look down with Kirkpatrick. As Kirkpatrick gets picked off, and it's all Columbia City on the other end of the floor. Tonkel with another fast break drive, now up to 17. As rough fourth quarter here for Carroll, a steal on a put through by Kidd with her first points tonight.
Yeah, really unraveling here for the Chargers. I think that steal on the front court is the sign, but really turned over there.
As Paul, that one rolls out. It's going to be an offensive foul on George. That's her third.
Yeah, the lead's jumped all the way up to 30 here, 35-65, as Chargers never really seeing that same form as they did when they made that kind of run in the middle of the second quarter, where cut it down to a 9-point lead. Looked like maybe a chance to get into the game, but since then, all Columbia City.
That's really been the thing with this Carroll team. Have had good runs, have shown talent throughout, but have just struggled to really have consistent level of play against these high-end teams. Stella Cruz in the game for the first time today for Carroll. 30-point lead for Columbia City. If they can take the lead to 35, it'll enact a running clock here. Hafner. Good dribble moves going inside. Not able to finish the highlight play. George gets the putback. So it'll be a timeout by Coach Redding. We'll take one with them. Columbia City leads at 65-37. As we welcome you back from the timeout, it's 65-37. Columbia City trying to put the wraps on this one. George with the rebound. As now Myers on the opposite side of the floor was wide open under the basket, dribbles to the outside. As that's going to be picked out by Baxter, averaging 4.5 steals a game. Gets another one, has been all over the floor defensively tonight. Tonkel puts it out. Good ball movement as Hurdle able to get her first points tonight. It's 67-37.
Yeah, just a smart team overall. Very disciplined, always looking to make that extra pass, and just really been the difference and kind of contrasting with this team is.
Paul with the deep three.
As I said, just contrasting with this Charger offense as, you know, been prone to those simple mistakes, especially, you know, turning the ball over.
Only their third made three tonight, 3 for 13. They made their last 2. But Jose Paul now leading Carroll with 14 as subs look to make their way in. Callie Mitchell and Olivia Hoke come in for George and Myers. 4:25 remaining. Rough night shooting the line from Carroll, who had a good game shooting against Norwell, shot 42% from the three-point line, 8 for 19, but could not come away with the win as Baxter now up to 23. But Carroll lost to Norwell yesterday. It was a competitive game, but lost by 10, 71-61. Offensively looked good, but had 26 turnovers, the second highest of the season, and 19 fouls, tying for the season high. As Cruz gets the offensive rebound, trying to keep it now to Hoke. Hoke had a good performance off the bench in the first half with 4. As Paul will take the 3, leaves that one long. As Jersey Paul just trying to get anything to go. As there'll be a foul on Hoke.
Carroll foul, the 42, Olivia Hoke.
So it'll actually be 5 fouls on Carroll, so we'll put Holler in the bonus with 14 already here tonight. But Carroll's schedule looking not so horrible coming up. They play Bishop Dwenger on Friday. Tough test against HSC, really the last one of the year, coming up on Saturday at 2:30, and then we'll take on Lure, Southside, Northside, and Snyder. So a good SAC slate to end the season. That game against Snyder going to be really telling on the 31st to see what this team is in the postseason. That's a good hop step by Paul to put it through. As Baxter thought about taking the 3, goes to the corner. Driving in is Kidd. She'll get fouled. She'll head to the line.
Yeah, and Baxter really living up to the hype tonight. She's played well, but not necessarily anything but a normal night for her, averaging about 24 points a game. And look up here on the scoreboard, has 23, so just a, I guess a regular night for her, as such a talented player as we've seen.
That's right, been a spread out effort. As we said, 4 starters in double figures for Columbia City, 3 of them with 16 or more. So here's Hafner. As Baxter trying to go inside, kid no good. Hafner comes away with it, no foul called. Hafner able to keep the dribble. 72-41. As Columbia City trying to put a wrap on things, that one will head out of bounds. As it's back to a 30-point lead, the biggest that it has been throughout. As Hafner puts it up, able to bounce in. Now at 12. As Baxter just trying to dribble some clock out. As that one's missed. Baxter loses it. So 72 points tonight by Columbia City. Here's Paul. Can't get the layup. 72 points tonight is the 3rd highest of the season for Columbia City. Their highest being 83 points against Whitgo on the 15th of November, 2nd game of the year. As there's Paul, puts it up, timeout here, as we'll take one with them. Columbia City looking to come away with it. As Columbia City leads 72-46 here with 1:36 remaining in the 4th quarter. As that one heads out of bounds. 1:26 now on the clock. Shot put up by number 24, Claudia Strack, who had a great game in the JV contest earlier on. Hoke puts a shot up, no good. Trying to go to the other side of the floor, goes out of bounds.
Good play there by Mitchell just to put a hand up in the way, as we've seen. The Eagles really exploiting that transitional defense from the Chargers, but good heads-up play there from Mitchell.
As that one gets taken away, Paul. No good. Knitter trying to cross over, picked off by Hafner. Paul on the other side gets the layup on the fast break. She now has 20 tonight, a sneaky 20. So we'll see if Carroll looks to contest. They do. Columbia City trying to get some points up for the reserves. Paul will take the 3. That one's left short, out of bounds. So down to the final 10 seconds as Columbia City will move to 14-3 on the season. They have a good test against Belmont and the Braves coming Friday night. Carroll now 7-8 on the year. They'll try to bounce back against Bishop Dwenger on Friday, the second boys and girls doubleheader of the season. So make sure to check it out here on the Chargers Sports Network, either on the IHSAA Champions Network or YouTube. As we thank you for watching. That'll do it for everyone here. Kunal, Mr. Matheny, Carter, Niang, Max, Hunter. That was Owen McFadden. I'm Carson Beeman. Have a great night, everybody. God bless.